Yo, what is good, everyone? Today I'm going to be discussing how to start and grow your Roblox clothing group. I figured I should be one to make this type of video because the experience I have in it. So let's get started. I want to start this off with advertisement. Advertising. I think advertising is very important for your Roblox clothing group and anything that you would be trying to sell. It's mandatory. Reason being is because you can make the best clothing ever and no one will notice it. It will just be there with the rest of the clothing. And with the marketplace so big, with so much creators and clothing designers, you need to stick out. You need to find a way to stick out. So I'm gonna explain what platforms I would suggest. First would be TikTok. TikTok is probably the easiest way to blow up on anything. You can make slideshows with your clothing, which I do suggest you make because it is so easy to do, and you will see your first growth probably from that. If you just make clothing on Roblox, no one's gonna notice it. Just how it works. So yeah, I'm gonna probably show an example there or whatever. Anyways, next platform I suggest is Pinterest. Same with TikTok, you could just post your outfits wearing the clothing. This and linking your group, etc., will probably be enough to get the attention that would be good for a beginning designer. So, post your outfits. I'll try to show an example, maybe my page. You don't have to add a special background. You could, I think a white background will do you the best. So, do that. You could do YouTube too. I mean, YouTube is great, I guess. I've seen YouTube Shorts do good. Anything with a shorts kind of TikTok like kind of thing where you could scroll through the photos or you could scroll in general. My bad. Like those will do good because people are always looking for clothing on Roblox to find. With all that said, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, try those out. You won't get instant growth. Obviously, it's going to be very hard to grow because the saturated everything, everyone is trying to promote their clothing, everyone's trying to promote stuff. You need to stick out. But once you have all that though, you could even do a Discord server. You could build a community for your clothing and around your clothing. I am personally not really good at this, but I think if you are the type of person who likes speaking to people about clothing, everything around that, I really do suggest you make a Discord server. So the next part is pretty obvious and you should know this, but it is making the clothing itself. I put this under the advertising because I do think you can make terrible clothing and still advertise it so well that you will get sales. And you could look at me for an example. When I started my clothing group on Roblox, I was a terrible designer. Everyone knows this, and I knew it too. My clothing was terrible quality. I would see other pieces. Everything on the market was literally better than mine. But what did I have? I had a platform and I was able to advertise it. This really just started everything, and I don't really have to even advertise to this day just because of that startup. So let's get into the making clothing part though, because I do still think it's important. So I would like to say when you are starting clothing, my best advice to give will be to start simple. And the reason why is because simple clothing could go far, and you shouldn't be thinking you should make the most high-end piece just because there's a lot of that on the marketplace. You can make black pants, a black shirt, and you'll be fine. You could still advertise it, you could still grow with it. You don't have to make the most high-end pieces to start your clothing group growth, right? So as you get better, right, after you make your first pieces, after you start kind of simple, I suggest once you start kind of branching off and maybe it's not going well, I really suggest you can use other pieces for an example if you need to. I do think it is important to be original, but taking inspiration is not bad at all. I suggest it, it's It's what you would rather do than steal, right? So use other pieces for references, use other pieces for inspiration if you're kind of stuck in the, same area and you can't really make anything else. All right, so we got advertising, we got making clothing itself down. Now I want to go to a very important step, which is actually just wearing your clothing. Wearing your clothing is gonna show that like you could wear your own stuff, and doing that is gonna, okay, people steal outfits on Roblox. Everyone steals, all right? You see someone wearing something cool, go to their profile, you take it, you wear it. If you're wearing your own clothing all the time, the odds of someone actually stealing your outfit and getting you those sales is pretty high. And this is what I did. When I used to actually, well, I used to steal clothing because I would get my fits stolen so much, which is a bad idea. I hate to say it, but I did. I did steal clothing. I did do this at first. But I realized I could just make my own clothing and do the same thing. And it just got me in love with clothing. I still love making clothing. I just didn't know how to at the time, and I think this is a terrible excuse for people to steal clothing because it's what I hear a lot. When I run into people who take my clothing, I ask them why they do it, and they usually say because people steal their outfits. Still not an excuse, in my opinion, because you could easily just make the clothing, build like a community off of it, and you just have your own pieces. You can make your own pieces. It's way better than stealing. Anyways, wear your clothing if you make it. Wear it. Just fucking wear it. Have your friends wear it too. It's very important. Anyways, last step will be consistency, which is very important as well. Once you are starting to grow your clothing group, because being consistent will really just help the growth, because you're not going to be seeing a lot of attention to your clothing group. You really need to show people that you're interested in it. You need to put shit out to get shit in, right? So be very consistent. I would say make new pieces and advertise daily to weekly. When I started, I would probably try to drop like a daily because I was so in love with it. I was making so much sales. I never had this before, okay? I was a poor Robloxian. I was making the first Robux I've ever saw, so I kept doing it. I was addicted to it. So I want you guys to realize this too. Being consistent, very fucking important. So yeah, that would just be my advice on how to start and grow a clothing group. Obviously, I could get into more specific details, like how to make your first pair of pants, how to make your first shirt. Excuse me, my main tutorial is like kind of advanced. I could show all that, which I probably will do. So thank you for watching. Give me feedback. Let me know what you guys want. Um, I appreciate it, and subscribe, join my group, join my server, do whatever. Peace.